Doing today, man?
Yeah, man. How you doing? How
Man,
you doing?
I'm good, brother. I appreciate your time, man.
Oh, glad to help. I'm glad to help. I'm so grateful. How do you know Jaden?
Oh man, that's my guy, man. I let you and him chop it up, and he can tell you all the stories that he wants to tell you. But me and him, man, we go back too far back to even try to put a date on it, man. I'm talking about preteen status.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot of memories right there. A lot of good ones, I hope.
Yeah, man. That's like a brother to me. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's very few people in this world that you can actually keep that close and
Yeah.
have those type of long term friendships with. So yeah, definitely.
Wow. And it says dad, you're a dad.
Oh yeah. I'm a real proud. I'm a dad on everything I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I mean, I'm a man of God. I mean, first and foremost. So at the end of the day, when you have your priorities in order, everything else will make sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
why don't you introduce yourself to the people so that when we launch this, they know exactly who they hearing from.
Uh, I mean, I don't even know who I am. My name is Devonte Jeffries. I'm a comic book writer. I'm a director. I'm a level designer. Um, yeah, our first comic book was in 2019, and we had no idea what we were doing. The shout out Edwin Sanchez. He was doing most of the talking in that, and he was so patient because back then I had still have so much potential, though I was shooting it all sorts of directions, and he was so patient with literally turning my potential into a sword, or turning my potential into a whip, or turning my potential um into a knife or something like that. He was really good at shaping things and sharpening things. But anyways, um our first book was called True, and it was about an ex-soldier turned broken detective named Kang, who he finds a new purpose in life after hiring the Gotham turned Ruba, as they expose their first conspiracy that'll change the Beyond and True City forever. And we didn't copyright it, which was a terrible mistake. And we learned our lesson because now we have 20 more books, which is, thank God. Being a one hit wonder must be scary. Like, imagine only having one good book or like one song. Like, Bobby Shmurda has Hot Nigga, and that's it. Like, I feel so bad. But yeah, I love making mistakes because we learned our lesson with our second book called The Therapist. The Therapist is about a ex serial killer turned award-winning therapist who she gets that those she finds her quench for blood again when she realizes that one of her clients is being mistreated by her parents. So the overall goal in that is like, what if Batman, like, you and I both know that Batman is obviously crazy. He doesn't have superpowers.
Yeah, yeah. He just obsessed with perfecting everything.
Yes, he has everything planned. He obviously has some sort of obsessive disorder or some sort of PTSD or something like that. And no one wants to talk about it. Like, Superman never took him aside and said, "Yo, bro, like, you could easily be a politician and probably do even more good." But anyways, I wanted to make the therapist is definitely inspired by Batman, but make her more interesting. Definitely. That's the shortest I could keep it for now, because I don't want to say everything, because I do want to give people a hook
Yeah,
to come to Webtoons. Everything we have is in our bio, in our Webtoons and stuff like that. Tru.comics.only on our Instagram. You can hit the link. Every first chapter is free.
okay.
The reason why, and the reason why me and my manager were going back and forth, shout out Toby, we were going back and forth about making it like, shouldn't people spend money on this? This is a very awesome idea, and people, people will pay. The money will come. I don't care about money. It's that I care about partnerships. So I would hope and pray, and I have no idea what's coming next. Though I would hope and pray that we, like a rapper, we get signed. We
Okay.
get signed to a bigger deal, to a bigger label, to a bigger thing. Because at the end of the day, I'm not logical enough to be an entrepreneur. I'm not a CEO. I'm not a boss.
It's
Yeah,
interesting you say that because it's definitely not for everybody.
yeah. I'm more of a freelancer.
So, question,
Speak.
not to cut you off. Question.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned the different books you got going all at once. Where do you go for your creative juices?
I'm just present. I'm just present. Sometimes I'll go to a party and I'll see like a model wear certain clothes, and I'm like, that's the therapist superhero outfit.
Mm,
Or I have so many racing thoughts. Um, I use my anxiety as a superpower.
okay.
Imagine it as a gift less than it is a curse or anything like that. Like I use my depression as a gift. I use my anger as a gift. I use all of my emotions as a gift. I don't see it as a flaw at all. Um, though for the most part, it is being present. I'll go, like I said, I'll go to a party and I'll be like, what is this superhero's outfit gonna be? Or I'll be at like a runway show, like a modeling gig or something like that. And what is the soundtrack of True Society gonna be? And the DJ will play like the perfect song, and I'm just so present that that's it, that's it. And then I go to the DJ and I shake her hand, or I shake his hand or something like that, and I'll ask for permission um to use their playlist or anything like that. It's just be present. Like there's nothing to be nervous about. Um,
All right. So let's dial it back a little bit. Um, at what point in your life did you realize, um, being a comic book writer, creator, uh, at what point in your life did you realize this was the path you want to embark on?
Thank you for asking that question. I think this is very important. Um, I realized this a few days ago. Um, what industry do I want to be in? Do I want to be in the comic book industry? Do I want to be in the video game industry? Do I want to be in the sports podcast industry? Do I want to be in the entertainment industry? Though, and then you have to be careful though, because when I say entertainment industry, that's kind of broad. Like there's all sorts of entertainment. You could be a boxer and be an entertainer. You could be a football player and be an entertainer. So specifically, like be as specific as that person can possibly be. And using myself for example, I found out like a few days ago that I need to be in the comic book industry and in the video game industry. Now we know what industry we want to be in. So what's next? What job um in this industry do I want to be in? Well, now we have to start talking about what are my talents? And what, not only what are my talents, but what are my passions? Because have you ever watched, for example, American Idol, and you'll see a singer and he's like, I'm a lawyer, but I always wanted to be a singer or something like that. He's talented at being a lawyer, though he's passionate
About
about
singing.
singing,
Yeah.
you know, because to him, being a lawyer feels like work, but singing does not feel like work. Singing, someone could put a gun to his head and say, "You better stop singing," and he would never stop singing. Like that's how passionate he is. So I would, because we have to deal with the phenomenon of being a master of all trades. Like I could sing, I could dance, I can make beats, I can write scripts, I can make plays, I can I can draw, I can paint, I could do all sorts of things. But what am I passionate at? Like, what is something like, Devonte, you better stop writing or I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna have to make it quick then. Like you're gonna have to aim for the head in this one because I'm just so passionate about writing and I'm so passionate about directing that this is something that my manager was kind of arguing with. We were arguing with each other about is that how could you possibly put in thousands of hours and want to sell the first chapter for free? I love it. I love it.
Well, I mean,
I love
it's it's actually the best approach one could take because it's like going fishing, right? Um, you gotta
you
buy
went fishing.
you gotta buy the rod, you gotta buy the bait, right? And then you gotta find a location to go cast your line. So essentially, with no guarantee of catching this fish, you already invested X amount of dollars. It's the same thing when you putting this together, right? So you
Yeah.
take the time to write the script. You get the artwork done. You put the storyline in proper sequence, and now you
Hmm.
believe in it. So now you're at that stage where now you're just casting that line, and so you give them just enough to make them say, "I like this shit. I love this shit. I want this shit." And then from there, now they gotta pay.
Yeah, chapter two, you got to pay.
That's it.
Yeah, we agreed on that. Yeah, we agreed on that. Like chapter one is free, but I'll spoil it. Chapter two to seven, you got to pay. You got to
And
pay.
listen, not, you
I still want to make it cheap. I still want to make it cheap because the reason why I want to make it cheap is because I remember the first book I ever read was free. Like a lot libraries are free.
yeah,
I hope so.
yeah.
So yeah, and so we agreed on that, and it's like, okay, like the video games that I want to sell, I want to make them free.
So what's the vision for True Comics? Like, what's the goal
I,
in mind? You don't have the vision yet. Okay, so you're working on it. I love the honesty. You know, a lot of people come and they'll give you like this long script of what they think is
yeah,
gonna be. I can
no,
appreciate the honesty. So, you mentioned just kind of doing like freelance work, like that's your lane. You feel comfortable with that. Um,
yeah.
in regards to writing the stories, right? Um,
Hmm.
are you kind of combining previous stories that you've seen, or are you doing like life experiences, or is it 100% creative writing, or is it a combination of everything?
Definitely, you're right about that. It's a combination of everything because sometimes I'm a human being. Sometimes I take breaks for like 10 seconds and I'll be watching anime and I'll watch Naruto or something and I'll think, oh, wow, that's where we got the costume from, or oh, that's where we got the villain from. It must have been in my subconscious the whole time. And then we have this phenomenon in the industry of, oh, you copied me, and which is kind of a bitter perspective. Something I recently got out of because the phenomenon does happen where great minds think alike, or it was just my subconscious that drew it. I didn't draw it. My subconscious wrote that. Like I wasn't thinking about that. Um, there's a scene in Batman, The Brave and the Bold where the Bruce Wayne he's in some sort of dream sequence, right? I'm trying to make an example to make my thoughts make sense. And he's in this dream sequence and he was at this Halloween party and he saw his dad make a bat costume or something like that. And Bruce Wayne says this sentence that's like, "Oh, I guess when I was making my Batman costume, his costume was in my subconscious the whole time." So it's all a psychology thing. It's all an interesting coincidence. I remember funny story here. I remember when I was spazzing out on I forgot this company's name. Though it blew up in my face because I was saying, "Oh, you stole this superhero's costume from me. Oh, you're a bitch ass nigga, da da da, you a bitch, da da da." And then later we started sharing receipts, and he made the costume first back in 2017, and I made my costume in 2019. So great minds think alike. Um, kill your paranoia, definitely. It's not about me. Is I learned that the hard way. Um, Surprisingly, I didn't get canceled yet, so that's good. That's well, I'm very talented,
Well,
so that's good.
I'm gonna tell you like this, my personal opinion, right? One can only be canceled if they believe in that cancel culture. I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't believe anyone can cancel
Really?
me. The only one that can cancel me is the Most High, right? Other than that, I could give two fucks about public opinion. You don't like my shit, change the channel. All right, it's that simple.
That's interesting. Like I'm not bulletproof. Like
But
you know,
again, bulletproof and cancel culture, two different things. You see?
true.
So where's the smoking gun? I'm not worried about people's opinions. I'm not worried about the negativity people may want to say about what I'm doing or about what I got going on. That's not what's gonna move me. That's not what's gonna drive me. It's definitely not gonna stop me or prevent me from saying what I feel or being who I am.
Cheers. That is that was the most profound thing on this podcast yet. Um, where does that perspective come from? Like I just don't give a fuck.
I mean, that's just what it comes down to. See, so what I've noticed with most people, everyone is living in like a facade, right? No one is living their reality, right? So like, um, you go on Instagram, people living their best life. No, you're not, right? Look,
Uh,
look,
like
look,
the
marriage, right?
eyebrows.
Marriage goes for the gram, and then off the gram, you got domestic disputes, you got fucking restraining orders, right?
Mm.
So, like, I don't got time for all that. I say pull the curtain back and let's see what's really behind the scenes. And that's why everyone is okay with being behind the camera and not in front of it. It's easy to hold a camera, right? Because from behind, I get to control what you see from behind the camera. But when I'm in front of the camera, I'm fully exposed. And that's what happens. So you just got to put the people in front of the camera, and then that's when you get the best version out of them because that's the true version. I don't care about what you can show me or what you can tell me.
What are they doing behind the camera? Hmm. That's very interesting.
I mean, look, I'll give you a better example, right? It's like when you first start to deal with a female, right? You go on a date. You get the best version of that female. She's gonna do her hair, her nails will be done. She got the makeup, best outfit on. Once y'all get past like the 90-day trial, like I call it, then you get to meet the real her, right? The lashes ain't there no more. The nails is missing, right? The hair don't even get done no more. It's just steady bird nest. And then she got like
Who
whatever house clothes on to come see you, right? And that's the
Mm.
real her. So now you like, man, I got bamboozled, man. This ain't the shorty that I was rocking with, right? But at that point, you're already past the 90-day trial, so now you got a monthly subscription to this motherfucker. You kind of stuck with it.
You're a man? Nah. What's your eyebrows? Nah. Have you ever seen that show Catfish when
uh,
they're like texting each other and stuff?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's the best show ever.
yeah.
I love it.
There's a, there's a lot of that stuff is scripted, but a lot of that stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh.
you got to understand, man. Like the only reason or the only way you can get catfish with literally anything is if you're not being true to yourself. A lot of the shit that we deal with in life is because we accept it. It's not. It's this. You could have a relative, right? Like you have an uncle that's a fucking a junkie. You know he ain't no good, but that's unc. He gonna come over and some shit gonna go missing, and everyone's in denial. No, he didn't. Not him. He didn't do it. Yes, the fuck he
Yeah.
did do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta
Mm.
look at it for what it is. So we tend to accept
Faith.
certain
Faith.
things from certain people,
Mm.
and then we want to be more harsh on others for the same transgressions that we would allow someone else to get away with. So what you got to understand is you teach people how to treat you.
The sooner you put your foot down, the sooner that shit won't fly again.
Absolutely.
I don't like conflict.
But that's
Speaking,
the thing. It's not conflict though, right? Think about it. It's not doesn't necessarily have to be a conflict. Just because like I say my favorite color is red and your favorite color is blue, don't mean we gotta have a problem, right? That's just your preference over mine.
mm,
Called being an adult. We're not always gonna agree on shit.
mm, but they gotta respect it. If there's no respect,
You know what?
there's no.
At this point, even if you don't respect it, I don't care. I let you know. I let you know what I stand on. You see what I'm saying? I'm not here for your approval. I'm not
Mm,
seeking your approval. I'm not seeking for you to say, "Oh yeah, red is a nice color." I don't care. They asked what was my color. I told you my color, and vice versa, and that's it. I'm not seeking your validation.
wow.
And I think and honestly, that's what a lot of people fall short in life because they seeking perfection, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna start a clothing line next year because I'm waiting for the right material. I'm working on the right logo. I need the
Yeah.
right model. I don't have the right shoot done. Man, listen, start right now. What you waiting for? What
You
you
better
waiting?
jump in and swim.
That's it. That's it. That's all you
Yeah.
got. But it takes a certain level of courage to actually take that step. A lot of people fear failure. They don't know how to deal with it. And so
You. This is so awesome that you said that. For everyone watching this right now, yeah, bro, you're gonna fail. Like you need to fail actually. Like that's actually part of the process. The first step is failing. You need to embarrass yourself. You need to bump your head a few times. There's this saying like when you're riding a bicycle, like you need to fall to know that you could survive it and you're stronger than you think. Like you need to fail. Sometimes I bump heads with my stepdad sometimes because he says, "Oh, it's got to be perfect the first time," and I don't think that's realistic. I don't.
it just has to be real the first time.
What do you mean?
It's like a first impression, right? They say you only get one first impression, right? And it's true. Now, if you show up as what they tell you is the perfect presentation, next time I see you, I'm gonna be like, this guy's a fraud because that's not who you are. Show up as who you are and allow me to make a decision based on who I'm dealing with. At that point,
Mm,
I can say, I'm gonna do a partnership with you and we're gonna push out X amount of comics, or I'm
yeah.
not really rocking with it, but best of luck. Allow me the opportunity to make the right decision, and therefore I don't waste my time or yours.
Yeah, and speaking of that, come in as just as you because there's this phenomenon in psychology called like a Freudian slip. Long story short, a Freudian slip is when you're comfortable around someone, you're so comfortable around them that, let's say, for example, I don't say curse words. I'm cordial. I'm a gentleman. I don't say curse words. And we're friends for like 90 days. And the 91st day I curse because you're a human being. You're gonna make a mistake. Like that's just so imagine you do a job interview and you're not being you, eventually you will be you.
Oh yeah,
Second, for a minute, for an hour, you're gonna be you. So you might as well be you off the jump. So that it's very awesome that you said that.
and now that's some of the things that I try to shed light on. I like to let people know, man, be who you are, right? Don't let the world change you, but you be the one to change the world. We can't. I can't do it for you. I can only do what I can do. I can't be worried about what you're doing wrong. I can only focus on what I'm doing right. And as long as that's what keeps me driven, then really, what's gonna stop me?
Mm. Just just that person in the mirror, really.
That's it.
But speaking of that, when it comes to uh this landscape that is the industry, I have this instinct to roll my eyes at it. The what are Can I ask what your morals are?
My morals as a person, as a business, as a podcast, like what?
That's another good question. We can start as a person. Sure, we could start as a person. Like if you had like 10 commandments for yourself, what would they be?
Man, I don't need 10, man. It's simple, man. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give you respect as long as I get it in return, and that's as far as it goes, right? Trust, you know, people say loyalty. Well, you don't have loyalty without trust. You don't have
Mm,
loyalty without respect. These are all the things that represent loyalty. Because if you respect me, you won't break my trust. It's that simple,
mm.
right? So I don't need the Ten Commandments. It's pretty simple, man. I'm here to give you a fair shake, and that's it. Now, if you cross the line, you violate. Well, to every action, there's a
There's a what?
you don't know the response to that. To every action,
There's a reaction.
exactly
Yeah.
there's a reaction. So don't call me crazy for reacting to your actions. That's it. And there will be no explanation. There's nothing to talk about. You understand? Like I'm not here. I'm here. We're good. But you
Mm.
cross that line, then we're no longer good. So this, what type of time I'm. I put it like this: if you
It's on site.
if you put out some bullshit,
Hmm.
and you see me and I'm on my bullshit, there should be no what's wrong with you because you know the type of energy you put out.
Some people are like that. They're
Well,
all
the only reason
uh
only reason
like
why
you.
they don't process it is because they're really not like that. They don't understand how it really works. So I tell people don't burn the bridge because I'm not sending a boat to get you.
Mm. Hmm. 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 If you wanted to rebuild a connection with someone, what would you do?
I don't. It's not my. It's not my. Listen. It's not my job to fix what you fucked up.
Mm.
See, I didn't break my trust. You broke my trust. It's not my job to repair it. This is the part that where I say, you know, society has got it twisted, bro. Everybody feels like they owed an apology. Everyone feels like, we need to have this one last conversation or I need closure. Man, leave that shit alone. What, do you, what's gonna be the difference? What's gonna change within a conversation? If I have the energy, if I have the
Yeah.
energy to slap the shit out of you when I see you, there ain't nothing that a conversation is gonna do to change that. I'm still gonna slap the shit out of
Um, can they at least understand why it happened? Why you slapped the shit out of me,
you.
bro?
Well,
Oh,
this
you
is
a
what
bitch.
but this is what I'm saying, right? I'm not just doing that for no reason. Is what I'm saying,
Mm.
right? So if that energy comes across the table and meets you on the side of your face, you got to understand that you put that same type of energy out there. The
Um,
difference is that I'm really gonna stand on what I'm about. So you can sit here and pretend to be one way, but when we go head up, then that's when we're gonna know who's who. Because if you're really on that type of time, I shouldn't have the opportunity to slap the shit out of you. It'll be on sight both ways. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But now, if you
Right.
really built like that, we will never get to that because real recognize real. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't, therefore, you wouldn't break my trust.
What is a real nigga?
Well, real, real can be broken down to many things, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, most these days, or not most these days, but these days, most of the people identify sucker shit as real shit, right? Um, if you a scammer, you a sucker. You robbing old ladies, you a sucker, right? You got kids and don't take care of them, you a sucker,
Okay. Yeah.
right? You a grown ass man living with your mom, you a sucker, right? You got a woman in your life, you don't take care of her, but you got time to chill with your fellas, go home and treat her like shit, you a sucker. You see what I'm saying?
Mm. Right.
So the complete opposite of what I just said is what the real niggas is, right? If you a father to your kids, you a husband to your wife, you hold
Let's
on the
flip it.
crib, right? That's what I identify as a real man, a real nigga, as we like to say, right? That's how I identify with.
Mm.
Those are the real gangsters, the ones that wake up on little sleep, still tired, and go out there handle their business to put food on the table, keep the lights on. Those are the
Yeah.
real ones. Those are the ones that you got to salute when you see them, because that's a rare breed these days. You don't see that no more.
Yeah. They don't get that type of respect. They don't.
Well, they never have because
They never
it's
have.
so. I can't. You tell me a time where the working man was respected and was honored, and it's unfortunate because it'll be by his own peers, even the people that he do it for. It'll be in his own home where he don't get the respect he deserves. I'll wait.
Fuck. Yeah, you opened my eyes to this one. Like definitely my stepdad, uh my mom. I definitely got to start paying a bill, something, putting in some type of work. Because I'm still growing. What else? What else? My uncle, he's a father of two kids and adopted one kid. He didn't even have to adopt, but he did anyway, just out of the kindness of his heart. He's on his Angelina Jolie shit,
That's what's up.
then African babies and shit. Um, wow. I mean, well, what about that movie Bronx Tale when the dad was trying to tell the son with the leather jacket, like, hey, like, being a real man doesn't mean being a gangster. Like, being a real man means like,
It's what I'm speaking on. But again,
I'm,
you reference in real life to a movie.
mm,
See, in the movie, it could be anything you want it to be, right? In the movie, you could be rich in the movie.
mm,
It's if you're the one. So think about your life as your own personal movie. What position you want to be in? You take the leading role and fucking knock it out the park.
why not? Who's stopping me? Yeah.
You stopping you. They stopping
Mm,
them, right? I can't stop you. If I said you not, if I say yo, your comics ain't shit, you ain't gonna make it, and you believe it, it wasn't that I was right. It wasn't that I was
mm,
right. It's that you believed in my words more than in your will.
mm. A real nigga has strong will. Add that to the list. Yo, I don't know how I'm gonna do this double shift. I ain't sleeping 3 hours, but we in here. We in here.
Now you got it. Hey, I mean, if you got work coming up, man, get your rest. Rest is important. We can always follow up.
No, I was making an example.
Oh, okay, okay.
Was bringing memory back when I was a dishwasher because I live in Yankee Stadium and we had to go all the way to Brooklyn to be a dishwasher. I wasn't allowed to clock out until all those dishes was done. But mind you, we did like bar mitzvahs, We did like yeah, bar mitzvahs, weddings, strip club parties and shit like this. And people asked for seconds and shit. And I'm like, do you really take your ass home? And yeah,
Hey,
I
so
would get a tip, but it'd be like $20 tips, and they would give me free drinks and stuff like that. It was minimum wage. I'd work like, oh my God, almost 20 hours. But um, yeah, shout out to the people working minimum wage because that shit is not fair.
yeah, no, I mean
Um,
it's you know what I tell everybody like this, man. I take minimum wage over no wage.
oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A real hustler gonna find a way to make it happen.
I ain't no street nigga. Um,
You ain't gotta be though. The biggest hustler I ever knew was my mom. You know what I'm saying?
me too.
Single mother raising two kids in the South Bronx. You heard?
Yeah, me too.
So,
Over by Diaz.
Oh, you from that side? You from Trinity side?
Nah, I'm right there though. I'm right there.
Got you. I
I'm right.
came up on that on Prospect Home Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm from that side.
Oh shit. All right.
That's what's up. But yeah,
That's
nah.
what's up. Yeah.
So um, the vision for the comics is not clear yet, but you're going full throttle. So what is available right now, comic wise, for the people? And where can they find it?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, true.comics.only. And if you hit the link on our Instagram, you can see us. Chapter one of True Society and chapter one of The Therapist is on our webtoons. We got 50 views in under like 30 minutes. So you got to catch up. We learning, we growing, we're constantly doing. There is no hesitation around here. There is no hesitation. We've been waiting way too long to hesitate now. Um, if there is some sort of vision, because I'm acting like an idiot, so I don't have to spoil everything. But there are lessons in each book. The lesson in the therapist is that no matter what powerful event the character has gone through, they can do anything that I know this is corny. They could do anything they put their mind to. Um, Society is uh it's pretty much the same thing. As a writer, I love repeating the same lesson over and over again because I'm stubborn. It takes me a while to learn the same lesson over and over again. Um, I have characters that are quote unquote, um, despite their past, they still choose to do good. That's pretty much what I want to say. No matter what your past is, you could still choose to do good. So whenever you feel like doing bad, choose to do good. That's why I have anti-heroes in most of my books, they're inspired by the Punisher, they're inspired by Daredevil, Ghost Rider, Blade. Like these people had very tough pasts, though they choose to do good. So with that being said, I implore all of my readers, all of our supporters to, no matter how tempting it is, choose to do good.
Yeah, I mean that's what life is all about. Regardless, life is about choice. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes down to that choice. You got the choice to do the right thing, the wrong thing. You got the choice to stack your money, invest it properly, or go splurge and spend it on dumb shit. Like it's all about choice. So yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got two out right now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
are you working? Oh, actually, are the other chapters completed in those two books? So like
Yeah.
let's say so if I've went in, I read the first chapter, I think it's dope, and I want to just purchase the next six behind it. Those are ready for purchase.
We are drawing them as we speak.
Okay. So
So
you have a
by the
timeline? You have a projected timeline?
March 10th, my birthday,
March 10th. Okay, cool.
we back again.
We back
We
at
made it.
it. Back at it like a crack addict, huh?
Let's do it.
Sounds good. So look, you right. It did cut off perfect. It was almost like it was set up that way, and it wasn't. So we let off. We not let off, but we got cut off on March 10th. So March 10th is the projected time frame for the artwork to be completed for the following chapters. Now, is that um for both books, or is that for the therapist, or
It's so crazy because one thing I learned was that the people pick their champion, and I really wanted True Society to be that champion, and it wasn't. It looks like the therapist, we have to focus on drawing the therapist. So hopefully, Society will always be my baby. The goth one, Ruba, will always be my one of the favorite characters we ever wrote. But if the people want the therapist, we'll draw the therapist. We actually have another book that we're working on called Dodgeball Heroes. Have you ever saw Dragon Ball Z?
come on, bro, come on,
Imagine Dragon Ball Z characters playing dodgeball.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like they have superpowers, like one has super speed and one is kind of like Captain America, where they just have fast reflexes and stuff like that. And they're pretty much superheroes in this high school. So one of the teachers thought, all right, so how do we prepare these kids to be superheroes when they graduate? Let's just make them try to kill each other playing dodgeball.
Mm.
So that we're writing that as we speak. No, wait, I think we finished it. Now we need to edit it. Now we need to edit it. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. Maybe that'll come out somewhere in February 2nd, which is my mother's birthday. What else? What else? We have like so many books.
So,
So many books.
are your characters repetitive, like with the naming or with the way that you draw them up, or are you
Well,
bringing life to each character as you go?
what do you mean?
So, like, um, Dragon Ball Z, right?
Hmm.
They all have like similar body types, similar hairstyle, right? Like there's just certain features that let you know Goku from Vegeta. You know Gohan when he's small, but when he gets big, it's like, what the fuck's going on? Like if you had to look at them all from the back, right? You would say, and if you strip them down to like a basic, like the generic Dragon Ball Z orange jumpsuit, let's say, right?
All look the same?
For the most part,
What?
body. Think about it. What separates them? Like if you strip down Vegeta, you take him out the blue and put him in Goku's clothing, right? The hair is the difference between Goku and Vegeta.
So shave all the characters bald. Like their frame, the character models, like they all look the same. Like if they were
They're
all bald.
they're close. They're real. You never thought about that, huh?
No, what?
I mean, even look at the structure of the face. They all have the same facial feature.
Triangle, like
The chin, right? The pointy chin with like the spiky kind of crazy.
what the fuck?
So
Did
that's
they plan that or was that by accident or something?
I don't know if they planned it. I'm gonna say is sometimes when you put so much time into something, it's easy to kind of get lazy with it, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, well, this works. I'm just gonna change the color on this guy. I'm gonna put glasses on this guy. I'm gonna, whatever. He's gonna wear orange. He'll wear blue. This guy has on black. This guy has on purple. But
They're all 5'10".
yeah, it's you have like a generic base, right?
Hilarious.
You get like a generic base, and then you just add different features to it, but it's essentially the same molding.
Um, hmm. Now that I think about it, it goes back to being present again. Like I'll be at a concert or I'll be at a fashion show and I'll have my camera and shit and I'll take photos and I'll think like, oh, so that's the costume that he's gonna wear, or those are the colors that he's gonna wear. So, um, it's kind of like I don't know, Pharrell Williams or Timbaland sampling music or sampling drums or sampling melodies. I'll see like a poster or a billboard and I'll take inspiration off of that and change the colors or change like her hips or something like that, or change her jaw, or change her shape or something like that. Um, One of the characters in Dodgeball Heroes is called Metalhead, and he's obviously Iron Man. Though instead of Iron Man being like so thin and sleek, his he has like a wider frame and he kind of moves around like a tank instead of being like so smooth on the dodgeball field. Or we have someone else called Super Dude, who's a hippie version of Superman. So Super Dude is pretty much he doesn't stress about anything. He's not angry about anything. He's not jealous or bitter about anything. He doesn't need to eat. He doesn't need to sleep. He has literally, yeah, he his hair is so long that it looks like a cape. You know, he's a hippie. He wears a tank top, pajamas. He doesn't have fancy clothes or fancy cars. He's laughing all the time. You know, like, bro, what's so funny? Everything. You know,
That's
human.
you
The
know
things that
that's
complain about
that,
is hilarious.
that's the character that so many people will be able to identify with. I think honestly, just off of the description you gave, I think he might be like your standout character because so many people can identify with him. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm. His scenes are really like you remember the turtle from Finding Nemo? Like, oh, dude,
Yeah. Okay.
uh,
Okay. Yeah.
that's him. That's him.
Got you.
That's him.
He's got like
Like,
a You watch wrestling?
yeah.
So he's got like a Riddle vibe.
Um, I haven't watched wrestling in a while, though. I think I know who you're talking. Is he barefooted?
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. Could be. Could be. Like he doesn't have a cape. It's just long hair, just blowing in the wind.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, his weakness is the angrier he gets, the weaker he gets. Like if he gets like negative emotions like anger, jealousy, sadness, he literally loses strength.
Mm.
And there's a lot of subliminal messages in our books. Like there's a reason why we wrote that. Because in real life, if a person gets too angry or if a person gets jealous or bitter or too sad or too anxious, they could lose their way. So, um, yeah, there's a lot of subliminal messages, positive subliminal messages, obviously, in our books. And that's why it takes so long to finish our books because um, I'm inspired by my cousin. My cousin is a psychiatrist or a psychologist or therapist or whichever one of those words. And she just the way that she talks and the way that she uses her word spells for good, obviously. Um, like even she looks at the books and she's like, why is the character behaving like that? Or how can this theme or how can this message be positive? Or how can this fight scene be different? What can the reader learn from doing this? How do we move the camera up here? How do we bring the camera down here? How do we the colors matter. Literally, red means something, black means something, yellow means something. Um, and we're very grateful for her. Like That's the thing. The reader doesn't notice it outright, but the subconscious does. And when she reads the script, she's just on point. Like, why did this character say that at this moment? What triggered this? How is this character angry? How can we make this character happy again? How can we make this person less anxious? What does it mean to be anxious? And all this and all that. And that's why we take so long. We take so long because my manager will say, "Who gives a fuck? Just draw it." But in my opinion, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Absolutely.
If there's a book or a cartoon or a movie that's so fucking good that people are out here saying the slang words in the movie or the slang words, or people are starting to dress like a certain character, or some girl is wearing makeup like a character, or some dude who's wearing makeup like a character. I don't give a fuck. That like the pen is mightier than the sword because it if it makes that trend, it could make it could change everything. So we're very adamant at having my cousin read the script because she's just a psychology master. Like the reason why the books are so good is because I owe her that. I definitely owe her that. Um, yeah, like when people say, "Yo, Ruba is my favorite character," or "Super Dude is my favorite character," like that's all because of her. Like just the subliminal sort of like, why is the, as I keep saying over and over, why is the camera doing this? Or it's very interesting to have like the light beam down on this person and let the light be blue or let it be yellow, like just little teeny tiny things.
Sometimes even
And
the angle of the lighting, the angle of the lighting alone can change. You know, what I mean, everything you think of that character.
yeah, yeah, like depending on, that's, you sound like a filmmaker right there. Um, just a certain camera angle. This is a certain gem for people making films or doing comics or storyboards. The angle will change the mood. If you want to make someone look like a supervillain, you could probably like angle it down there, make them look powerful. If you want to make them look small and weak, probably like angle it right there, something like that. If you want to make the character relatable, probably put the camera at eye level. Um, what else? There's also, what is the height of the camera? Is the camera could be this, now we're just getting abstract at this point. Though the camera could be at the floor, it could be looking up like that. The camera could be at the knee level or at the waist level. These are called cowboy shots because during like Western films, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, there's a lot of waist level shots um, where we see the gun, and the cowboy shot is shown before the fight scene starts, which is very interesting. Um, you could have a camera all the way at the ceiling. You could have it at the corner somewhere. So basically, these little teeny tiny things can. Oh, another thing, how close is the camera? How far away is the camera? That's also important. Um, just the camera angle is everything. And um it's not about me. I love sharing knowledge for free. Like I'll do it for free. Like it because um I want someone to be better than me. And I know
That's
that
the only
sounds
way to keep it going forward, right?
yeah.
Have someone go above what you're doing. Because if you're the last one to kind of move the goalposts further down the line, when once you reach that finish line, that's it. It's over. So I'm with you on that. I agree with you on that 100%.
Thanks, man. I have this uh hmm, yeah, I choose love. I have this interesting relationship with gatekeepers because gatekeepers, these niggas is like 70 years old, 80 years old. Like certain camera angles that they use is not really cool no more. So um where was I even going with that? I did have a few run-ins with a few gatekeepers, and I feel bad for them because we could have made money together, and you know they're still making money, so that's cool. But now I'm making more money than you, so it's like it's there's nothing wrong with being competitive, because I come from a sports school. I did wrestling, I do boxing. I'm somewhat competitive, but I'm more collaborative than I've ever been because first off, I can't draw. Um, I need someone for that. I'm not the best with money. I have an accountant for that. I don't have a lawyer. I have a lawyer for that. I don't know how to read contracts. I have a lawyer for that. I'm not an entrepreneur. I have a manager for that. So whenever I look at these award shows and they say, "Oh, I just did it by myself. I had no help." What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I
That,
don't understand.
again, that's the big ego. That's the big ego thing. That's the some people some people like to make themselves feel bigger than what they really are. They want to take more credit from what they really do. Um, and it's not until those pieces aren't in place that you don't realize how much you really
Hmm.
do depend on the team around you. That's when you realize how much of your success is really not in your own hands. Um,
No,
and
it's
and
in God.
and that's why I address things as a team, right? So if you come to the table as a team, we're all equals. Yeah, it don't matter. Oh, it's your company, no, but we're equals because my company doesn't thrive if you don't do well. So I want you to succeed. So let me know how I can help you, what tools I can put in place to help you give me the best version of you so that the company can become the best version than what I can even think of. Because I'm just one person trying to put this together. So when I bring everybody else to the table and we all get our ideas in and we all kind of draw up this fine print, this plan, by the time you get that finished product, man, you surprise yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, we're surprising ourselves every day. Like speaking of building a team together, when we put our circle together, it was I love recruiting artists that fucking suck because just watching that growth, just I love seeing them just blossom into something else, into something bigger than me. Um it's like it's kind of like finding a rapper in those open mics, and my mentor Ty taught me this. Like, he told me, find a comic book artist that has like two followers or like one follower and build them up. So when they blow up, it's gonna be fucking huge because Kanye is not getting any bigger. But like Lil Johnny down the street that only has like 10 listeners, they have so much space to grow. So I love finding people that fucking suck and watching them grow. Um, what else? Whoa. Yeah, yeah. And my team is frankly not that big. It's about 7 people. Three artists, an accountant, a manager, a colorist, and a director. Yeah, it's only 7 people. There are teams that are 3 people. Um,
I mean, I think
there are teams.
I think it depends on how much of a role each individual can take on, right? And also what industry you're in, because there's some industries that don't require as big a team as others. Um, so creating that balance and understanding what role everyone needs to play and everyone accepting their role and living up to the standard, and that's where you're gonna find true success. That's how everyone's gonna thrive. When I want to see you succeed as much as I want to see myself succeed, that's when we all gonna succeed. Because unfortunately, there tends to be this like urgency for I'm the man, I'm better, right? And that's cool. You could be better, but if you help me be just as good or maybe even better, and you fall off, we don't really take a hit because I can carry the load while you get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I tell people all the time, man. Make sure the people you keep around you are driven like you're driven. make sure the people you keep around you actually bring something to the table. Because if I'm the only one putting food on the table, at some point or another, there ain't gonna be no more food for nobody.
I don't know what that means.
If
What is
I'm the only one putting food on the table, at some point or another, there won't be no food for nobody. Because what happens
mm,
when I'm fucked up? You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing the feeding and I'm fucked up, then how are we gonna eat?
we all got to fish.
Exactly, exactly.
Mm.
So yeah, man. I'm gonna dial it back a little bit one more time with you. What what were you like? Um, what were you like as a student, right? Like, was you into this as a student? Like, was your writing? Because as a writer, I would think that that's something you enjoyed your entire life, or is this something that you just picked up as you got older?
It's something that I realized was within me when I got older. Basically, as I said before, I was a jack of all trades. Um, what else? I was a jack of all trades. I hopped around on a lot of stuff. I was in sports, although I still cling on to boxing. Um,
Now you know that I don't know if you're aware, but that's my forte. So when you speak on boxing,
for real?
are you like competitive boxing? Are you boxing for fitness? Like, what's the story with
Um,
that?
Now I'm a writer. I'm a director. I ain't no boxer. I actually lost a match last night
Well, hey,
with my.
losing don't mean nothing, man. The greatest of all time lost plenty fights. You heard me?
All right. I mean, well, well, he hit me in the liver, and he didn't even hit me that hard.
It's
But I
it's a
fell like a stack of bricks.
it's a
But I think I got more points than him.
it's
I
a
think I
body
did get
shot,
more.
man. Body shots, man. That's what they used to call me, the body banger. They
Jesus Christ.
they
Oh
know that.
my God.
They all the good fighters know, man. You break the body down, the head gonna fall. So
He
how
was
long
doing
you been
that.
boxing?
He was doing that for like 4 rounds. I'm like, why is he not punching me in the face? Anyways, but I've been boxing for 4 months. Yeah, 4 months, 3 months. Actually, shorter than that. I've been taking it seriously for like 1 month,
Gotcha.
definitely. But
So
I was
when you said you had a fight, was it a like an amateur fight or was it like a sparring session?
sparring session,
Gotcha, gotcha.
sparring session. I do that is on my list though of awesome shit to do. I
What
want to
gym
get
you
to,
registered to?
huh?
What gym you go to?
I don't go to a gym. I just go to my brother and we just box and we throw hands in the park. He wants to go to the major leagues, but he's afraid of people. Part one. He's afraid of people's opinions, like people on the side of the ring yelling at him and shit like that. So
Hey man,
my
one thing I'm gonna tell you that you can tell him, you want to do boxing, gotta be a fucking animal. Okay, you can't show up. You're not there to make friends. You're there to hurt people because they're not there to be your friend. They're there to hurt you. We ain't shaking hands. I don't care where you from. I don't care who's there with you. When that bell ring, my job is to destroy you. That's it. That's it. Otherwise, you don't play boxing, man. You know, people lose their life doing that shit.
Yeah,
That shit is
yeah.
that shit is serious. I think it's dope that you guys do practice it because it's boxing is great for everything. It's great for exercise. It's great for your cardio. Just to be in shape and self defense purposes. Um, and it also generates a certain level of confidence within the
That's-
individual, right? So it's dope that
it
y'all
does.
doing that. But if he or you yourself decide to take it to that next level, you gotta be an animal with it, man. You can't be friends with nobody. That shit is nothing to play with, man. You have to have bad intentions. The only way you're gonna have success in that sport.
Wow. But out of the ring, it's all good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, not what depends, right? I mean,
What?
it depends. I never really I didn't fraternize with the competition. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We showed up, we did what we had to do, and we got up out of there. I wasn't there because ultimately, if it's me and you and I bust your ass, right, and you're not gonna want to be my friend after that anyway. So what am I hanging around for, right?
Fuck out.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we just show up, handle our business, get up out of there. Never personal, obviously. We both know what we signed up for, but ultimately, especially in the moment, maybe down the line, if I see you, it can be mutual respect. But in the
Yeah.
moment afterwards, I don't see me staying behind to dap nobody up or take no pictures. Nah, I'm
Good
good.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. So you never thought like, damn, he hit me with some shit. How did he do that?
Nah, cause you're in the moment. You're in the moment. So it's action, reaction, action, reaction. You know what I mean? Over and over until one of y'all is just get doing the action and the other one stops reacting. That's pretty much the goal of the fight.
Ah, boom, boom. Stick a move, punch, slip. Yeah. I think I lost. Speaking of that, I think I lost that fight because even though technically I had more points, like my footwork was bad. Um, what else?
I'm curious.
I would
So who's judging the rounds though? Like,
um well, he has more experience, so he's definitely judging the rounds. He could go 12 rounds. I could barely go four. Um, what else? So he told me like you're in round one, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like save your energy.
pace yourself.
Save your
You
energy.
gotta pace yourself.
Treat it, yeah, treat it like Goku. Goku doesn't go all out in the first match. I mean, the first round. Goku doesn't go all out. And you're fighting me like Vegeta right now. Like you're using all your ki in the first round. You're going mad hard. You gotta just relax. Just relax. Like just breathe. Um, understand spacing. Understand reach.
Yeah,
Because
the
there were times
distance.
I
You
was,
you want to control the distance. Speed. Speed is a good tool to have. But if my timing is better than your speed, I'll beat you all the time.
wow,
I
what
don't
is time? What does that mean?
exactly what it is. Timing. I have to. If I can time your movement, I can neutralize your speed. That means I'm hitting you just as you setting up to get your hands off. You know what I'm saying? Make them miss, make them pay.
So the moment they move their shoulder, just hit. The moment they cock their arm, just hit.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit more than that, but yeah, timing like it's something that I guess would have to be demonstrated. I can't just verbally explain it. I mean, I can tell you exactly where you should be and how you should do it, but it's the thing you gotta get a feel for. Like Floyd Mayweather wasn't the fastest boxer, but he had the best timing, so he was able to neutralize guys with better power, better hand speed because he could beat you to the spot before you could set up to get yours off.
Beat them to the spot. I gotta practice more.
Footwork. It all starts with the footwork, right? So it's like building a house, right? You got to have a good foundation in order for that house to be strong. So it's the same thing as a fighter. If your footwork is fucked up, everything else is fucked up.
Hmm. Take notes. All the viewers, all the entrepreneurs, take notes. Get that table together.
Yeah,
Get them legs.
put it together, man. Put it together, man. I tell people all the time, man, whether it's boxing or MMA, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is that people may want to take up, it's good to know some sort of form of self-defense for multiple reasons. Like I said, it builds character, it gives you confidence, it gets you fit, it's good for the heart. I mean, it's got so many benefits. So I tell people all the time, man, you definitely want you want to take something up because it has long-term effects on your life, positive effect on your life.
Yeah. Is there any sort of life lesson in boxing that relates to life? Anything at all? Because all information is relative. It's all like a circle.
Um, the biggest lesson I can say you can get from boxing is discipline. If you're not disciplined, You won't have success in boxing. If you're not disciplined, you won't have success in life. So discipline is the biggest key. And that's actually one of the things that I preach when I used to train people for boxing. I
Oh,
created
you did?
Yeah, I used to for a while. I created a program called 3D boxing, which is discipline, dedication, determination. And that those are the three tools that you need to get not just through boxing, but think about it for life as well. Um, and I had that program growing, and I worked with a lot of different fighters from different weight classes and things of that nature. But ultimately, I just kind of fell back for it because people aren't as passionate about it as I am, and so I'm liable to slap the shit out of you for wasting my time. And to avoid all that shit, I just say I'm just not going to train people no more. I only got one person that I really work with nowadays, and that's not all the time, because our schedules don't match, and my kids every now and then whenever they want to train.
I think you and my brother would get along. Definitely. That nigga eats, sleeps, shits, probably fucks boxing. I don't know about that last part, but that's all he wants to talk about. That's all he would like, damn.
He's got to get to a gym, man. He's got to get to a gym. You can go to John's gym. That was my original gym. Was John's gym. Um, um, there's Trinity Boxing. There's a lot of gyms you can go to in the Bronx. You can go into the city. You got Mendez Boxing Gym. You got Church Street Boxing Gym. Um, yeah, so he can definitely do what he gotta do down there, man. He just gotta show up and show out.
No, he could do that. He can handle 12 rounds. Like I remember uh, uh, and he was just standing there like, "Come on, get up. Get up." I can't. There is no I can't. That you're saying I can't.
Yeah, he's right.
If you're
He's
still
right.
breathing, you can.
There's no such thing as can't. It's will or won't.
Yo, this nigga's a cyborg. He's a cyborg. Um, he was like, if you're still breathing, you still can. I was like, wow, you hit me in the liver. Are
Yeah,
you still breathing? Yes, then get
yeah,
up.
that sounds like a good body shot, man. Um, so we covered the comics, we covered the subscriptions. What for the in regards to purchasing the chapters moving forward, would it be that the customers would have to purchase each chapter individually? Would it be like a monthly subscription that they would pay and they can have access to the remaining chapters? Is it downloadable content? Is it only on the website? Like how is that gonna play out?
Um, that's something I need to speak to my manager about. He's way better at organizing, though. My overall vision is to instead of getting chapter by chapter by chapter, just buy the whole 300 pages. You know what I'm saying? Though knowing him, I have to check in with him, and now we have to argue for about 2 hours. Um, but yeah, that is my overall goal is to just get get the 300 pages and be done with it. Um, yeah, we do have a lot of pages that were scrapped, so perhaps we can sell those as like posters. Like, oh, I have the original scrapped edition of the therapist. I have her original costume. I have her original sniper rifle and shit like that. Like, oh my god, wow, this is a cool toy. It's not a real sniper rifle, obviously. Um, what else? We'll make that announcement when it's ready, is what I mean to say. We'll make it when it's ready.
That works.
Um,
That works.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I ask these questions because the audience is gonna be curious. I personally know about a a good dozen of the people that listen to my podcast that are gonna have interest specifically in the comics. Um, just so that they could be better in tune with you. Let them know once again where they can find you and how they can contact you.
Um, you can nah. Well, we're on Instagram, true.comics.only, and once you find our Instagram, The chapter one is completely free. Chapter one of The Therapist is completely free, and it's about retired serial killer turned award-winning therapist Dr. Billie Kane returns to her bloodthirsty ways after she finds out that one of her clients is being mistreated by her parents. Um, this is very interesting because the overall theme of it is no matter what powerful event someone has been through, they can still choose to do good. So, um, yeah, that's my marketing spiel. Um, I hope that people take something amazing with this and they're able to pass it on to someone else, and then they do something amazing, and then it's like a domino effect of everyone being amazing or doing the best they can to be amazing anyway. Yeah, to all the gatekeepers out there, y'all niggas is mad. Um, what else? Hmm.
Fired. Shots fired.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say any names. You know who you are.
So
Um,
it's all good. Listen, man, and that's what it's about, man. Being able to speak your piece, speak your truth, and create awareness. Um, one more thing before we jump off. What is your targeted audience? I know you told me they rated R comics, so clearly we can't like make a push to get these in like public schools. Um,
that's interesting because the actually that we can still work that out because the first book that I ever read was an Alan Moore book, V for Vendetta.
okay.
It was in a high school library, and that book was very violent.
Well,
I don't know how it got there.
no, but we're talking about like high school, right? I'm talking like elementary, maybe middle. We're like, cause here's a great like for instance, I'm nowhere near done with it. I'm actually working on a book for kids though, right?
Go for it.
It's a kids book. Um,
Hmm.
and my whole idea of it is like I'm gonna market that shit to like Scholastics, and then
Hmm.
through Scholastics, at least twice a year, your book is gonna be pushed around the country, so these kids can, parents can purchase it or whatever the case is. Um,
Hmm.
and so that's what I'm working. I have no time frame. It's just something that every now and then I'll just kind of add to it and add to it and add to it. So that's why I asked, what is your target? You know what I'm saying?
Ages 18 to 25. As I said before, my well, yeah, 18 to 25. We had some readers that were like 16 and 15 who read it. I don't know how the fuck they got it. Though I feel like Eminem in the early 2000s where people were like, "Hey, it's rated R on the album." But yeah, for the most part it's 18 to 25 years old. And we do have a few phenomenons that where people are a different age and they read the book anyway. Though according to that analytics button on our Instagram page, it's 18 to 25. And for the most part, it's people who are it's nerd culture, right? People who are fans of video games or Xbox or PlayStation or uh um the, our analytics is based off of who the main character of the book is. So if the main character of the book is 18 to 25 years of age and they're coincidentally um into firearms and the main character's fight scenes are boxing scenes, just whoever the main character is, that's where analytics are.
Gotcha.
So hopefully that'll make sense. Yeah. The overall goal is to get signed, be it by Godhood Comics, Concrete Comics. We're working a gig with them right now.